Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello from Brussels. If you're following this podcast, meaning you want to learn English, no, you want to learn Dutch, sorry. And so we're going to read two very easy articles as we usually do. Before we start, remember, Belgium has three official languages: Dutch, French, and German. So we are learning Dutch. And what can I say to you today? As I said already before, make your own vocabulary list. Let me make it a little bit bigger. The link to the document is here under this video. So make your own vocabulary list. Could be on paper, could be in an application. For example, I use Quizlet. Up to you to know which one. Write down the basic grammar rules. I give you basic grammar rules during the lecture of these articles. So write them down. And then when we finish reading, try to write down three very basic sentences about the article. So try to tell to yourself three things about the article. And then once you've written them down, say these sentences in front of a mirror, because to learn to speak Dutch, you have to speak. There is no secret. Okay, so you see here at the left, look here, you have all the articles. We have another article about the Strait of Hormuz. We had already one, so this article should be easy. And then the second article will be about potatoes. Now, let's see if, well, this is clear to you. I hope so. So the 11th article we're reading says, De straat van Hormuz is open. And like in English, you pronounce the H, which is not the case for French-speaking people. When you speak French, you do not pronounce the H, but in Dutch you do. So it's De straat van Hormuz is open. This is clear, the Strait of Hormuz is open. De straat van Hormuz is een smalle doorgang in de golf van Oman bij de kust van Iran. So, the Strait of Hormuz is a small passage. And in the word doorgang, yes, the end of it is ng, like in English. Ing, doorgang. And you see the verb gaan in there, means to go. So like you go through, this is the word passage. So there is a small passage in the Gulf of Oman by the coast of Iran. I hope this is clear. You can always ask me questions in the comment section. Veel olie en gas vertrekt zo uit het Midden-Oosten naar de rest van de wereld. So, a lot of, veel means a lot of oil and gas. Vertrekt, leaves. And then we have the word zo. And so, it's a little bit like thus or so. In English, you would rather put it in front of the sentence, but not. You don't have to do it in Dutch. You could do it, but you don't have to. So it's really like, so, a lot of oil and gas leaves from the Middle East. Naar is always a direction. It means towards, to the rest of the world. Iran blokkeert deze doorgang door de oorlog met Amerika. So, Iran blocks. Now, do you remember the verbs in Dutch usually end in en? So this verb here will be blokkeren, ending in en. How do I make the third person singular? Like here, we take away en and we add another t. Now, do you see here we have two e's? And here with one e, you see that? It's written as a mistake. Yes, this will be, and I will not explain it at this moment, I will explain it later. This is the rule of double single syllable. No, not syllable. what do you call it? Vowel. The rule of the double and single vowel. Double, single vowel. We talk about that later, but that you know already and that you do not think I have been writing a mistake. So, Iran blocks this passage. You remember? Doorgang was passage. Door. Door is a very important word. It can mean through, but also because of. And in this text, it very often means because of. Because of the war, this is war, with America. Let me put this here. Good. Olie en gas kunnen dus niet geëxporteerd worden. We have again this dus, thus, or so. And in English, we will start with a word, not necessarily in Dutch, but so we will translate by so. Oil and gas cannot, kunnen niet, cannot be exported. Did you see that we have like 3 verbs? Can, then the verb to be here is 2 things. The verb worden is 2 things. 1, it means to become, and this is not the case here. Second, we will use it to make a passive construction, the passive tense. So I leave it like this, but what is so important to know about the passive tense, and you can ask me questions if you want to, but in English, the passive tense is translated by the verb to be. So worden will be translated by to be. Good, so oil and gas, oil and gas cannot be exported. President Trump wil een akkoord vinden met Iran. Okay, now we have 1 verb in the beginning, 1 verb at the end. Now, normally I should put met Iran before the last verb. So I could put it here. Met Iran, yes. Why did I put this part at the end? It's quite a natural thing to do by native speakers in Dutch. Everything, every part of the sentence with a preposition like here, met, can be put after the second verb. We are not going to do it today. I leave it like this because you absolutely have to remember the rule, subject, first verb, and the second verb at the end. Second or third, all the other verbs at the end, okay? That's a basic rule, and we talked already about it. This means President Trump wants to find with Iran an agreement, akkoord, agreement, or a deal. Is geen oorlog gedurende 2 weken. So there is no war during 2 weeks. Now, we can make something negative by using niet or by using geen. Niet is usually not in English, and geen is usually no war. So you see, there is no war during 2 weeks. And then we see the plural of week. Look at that. You say 1 week, 1 week, but you say 2 weeks, 2 weken. And you see again, we have here double vowel, single vowel for the same word. That I will explain to you later, unless you ask me explicitly, and then I will explain it immediately, okay? Then we have the en, which is very often the plural in Dutch. Could be en, could be sometimes s. Good. In die 2 weken gaan Iran en de VS over vrede praten. So, in those 2 weeks, and you see, I started the sentence not with the subject, because the subject of this sentence is Iran and the United States. VS meaning Verenigde Staten. So this is the subject. I've not started the sentence with the subject. So I have to swap verb subject. Verb gaan, subject Iran. Do you see? I swapped them. I put first the verb gaan and then Iran and the VS. So this sentence means, in those 2 weeks, Iran and the US go or are going to talk about peace. Vrede is peace. And you see, I have one verb in the beginning of the sentence and one verb at the end. They're going to take. You see, this is already a way to make the future. Going to talk. Not to make, to talk, sorry. Praten, to talk. De gesprekken zijn gestart op 10 april in Pakistan. Again, you see, this is what I wrote naturally. But let me do it as I just explained. You put one verb in the beginning of the sentence and one at the end. But, as I also told you, you can, apart with a preposition like here, op, other preposition in, they can go after the second verb. We keep that for later. So, de gesprekken, the conversations or the discussions have started. They have started, but in Dutch you will conjugate to start with the verb to be in the past. It's as if you say the discussions are started. But they have started, one verb in the beginning, one verb at the end, on April the 10th in Pakistan. Now, I have to tell you something about everything that is between the two verbs. Do you see on the screen what's in blue? Is between the two verbs, between zijn and gestart. How do I position all those parts in between the two verbs? I will follow the rule T-A, in English will be space. So first a time, then others. In fact, I'm sorry. I should say T-O-S. I'm sorry, because this is not in French. So I put first a time, then other complements, and then space. You see, this is the time, and this is space. Let me know if you do not understand. Okay? Tot nu toe is nog geen akkoord. Tot nu toe, nu is now, until now. Have you seen that I swapped the verb and the subject? Is and I did not write is, because is the subject, so I swapped both. So until now, there is no agreement yet. And the yet is here, nog geen. No agreement yet. There's not yet an agreement. We duimen voor de vrede. And duimen means thumbs up. Here it's a verb, to thump. You can say in Dutch, we thump for peace, but means thumbs up or cross fingers for peace. Good, and then we have our article number 12. Let me put it on the next page. Okay. Boeren delen aardappelen uit. Now, boeren are farmers. Een boer, a farmer. Then we have the verb uitdelen. Uitdelen meaning to give out, to hand out, or to distribute. But do you remember I talked to you about this small part of the verb going to the end in the present tense and in the simple past? So the verb is, let me put it in between brackets, uitdelen. Uitdelen, to distribute. But here, this part is separated out, is separated and goes to the end. So, farmers distribute or give out potatoes. Earth apples, you call them in Dutch. Do you see that? Earth apples. Earth apples are potatoes. So they're handing out, giving away potatoes. Op zaterdag 18 april begint de week van de aardappelen. So, On Saturday, 18th of April, we have not started by the subject. The subject will be de week van de aardappelen. So the week of the potatoes. This is a special week of potatoes in Belgium. This is the verb and this is the subject. So on Saturday, April the 18th, the week of the potatoes starts or begins. You see, I put the T, third person singular. It's the verb beginnen, to start. Onze boeren met aardappelen hebben grote problemen. So our farmers with earth apples, potatoes, have big problems. Dat is door de werking van de markt. So that is, and door, I told you already, door, it's here because of the working or the functioning of the market. The werking, you can see the verb werken, to work. The werking, it means how it functions, how it works. So this is because of the working or the functioning of the market. Mensen eten minder en minder frieten. Mensen is people eat less and less fries. And if you know something about Belgium, you know that we eat fries all the time. We eat potatoes cut up in small pieces and fried. But people eat less and less fries. Dus is de laatste maanden minder vraag. Dus is again so. So there is. Have you seen that I swapped the verb and subject? Is the subject, is the verb. But since I started with dus, I'm going to swap. So there is the last month's less demand. And you know, we call the market is based on vraag en aanbod. In Dutch, you say demand and supply, even though in English we say supply and demand. But so this is demand and this is supply. So there is less demand. We exporteerden ook aardappelen naar het Midden-Oosten. So we exported also potatoes naar, again, this is a direction towards the Middle East. Now I have to say something about exporteerden. The verb is exporteren, right? The basic part is exporteer. I will tell you later why we have here a double E, whereas here we have a single E. But then, to make the simple past, we're going to add TE or TEN, or, let me do it like this, or DEN, could be DEN. Now, how do I know if I add TEN or DEN for the simple past? I have to look at the last letter here of the basic part. And if this letter R is in the word soft ketchup, then I will add TEN. Now, is the R in this word? No, it is not. So I will have to add DEN. Like this. Exporteerden, meaning exported. Okay? No, I do not want this. Now my text is gone. Okay. I will repeat this, but so this is the rule of the simple past for regular verbs. Regular verbs. The irregulars we will have to, we have to learn by heart. Maar daar is nu oorlog in Iran en Libanon. But there is now war in Iran and Lebanon. And I'm quite sure you will ask me the question, but why did I not swap here? There is. It should have been is there, because I have a word in the beginning which is not a subject. Well, there are 4 words in Dutch which do not influence the structure of the sentence, and they are en, of, maar, want. And we have here maar, meaning but. So, but does not change the structure. So it is, there is now war in Iran and Lebanon. Dat stopt de handel. That stops handel, meaning trade, commerce. And we see again, this is the third person singular, so we add an extra T to the verb. The verb is stoppen, to stop. Okay? Almost finished, guys. Keep on going. Ook de Amerikaanse taxen maken alles duurder. Ook aardappelen. So also the American taxes make everything duurder, more expensive. Now, duur, just this part, means expensive. I have added der to mean more expensive, duurder. You call it the comparative, we will see that later. So also potatoes. Potatoes are also more expensive. We hebben dit jaar veel aardappelen door het goede weer. So we have this year a lot of earth apples, a lot of potatoes, because of the good weather. You see that? Het goede weer, the good weather. It was not very cold in Belgium this year, in winter. En is ook een ander probleem. And there is also another problem. Do you see here we have N? We started with N, meaning and you see it's in the list of the four words, not changing the structure in Dutch. Azië maakt meer en meer aardappelen. Asia makes more and more potatoes. So they also cultivate them. Boeren willen hun aardappelen niet vernietigen. So farmers want, and you see the second verb is at the end, vernietigen means to destroy. Niet means nothing, to make them to nothing. So they want to destroy not. They do not want to destroy their potatoes. Hun meaning their. Ze geven dan liever hun aardappelen weg. And here we have weg is the part going together with geven. The verb is weggeven, like give away. But in Dutch, this is the part that sometimes is glued to the verb. So, they give then preferably their potatoes away, meaning they prefer to give away their potatoes. Okay, guys, finished for today. Keep on reading and then try to say 3 sentences in front of the mirror. That will make you talk. And if you want me to organize a live, please tell me and then we do a live together. You can ask your questions and we can communicate, sorry. But I hope to see you soon. Have a very, very nice Tuesday. Bye-bye.